Hi, my name is Angie. I'm a former Uber driver.
Hey guys, I'll be on the mic in just a bit. Look, it's possible. Look, we're at support right now, so if you want a chance along, guys, listen to what I'm saying. Right now we're at support. Right here on the H1 chart, if you have access, this is a support level if you want a chance along. No guarantee that it will hold, but I would like to point out on the C1 chart, so we just broke down from a falling wedge. This could be a head and shoulders. Right, this is our head, this is our right shoulder, and you go the distance from the top to our neckline, and that would bring us down to around 50. This would be 56,444, and we do have a moving average there. So, just want to point that out. That's the purpose of the stream. And I told you guys to pay attention to this red ring on the Dow. As far as I'm concerned, that is the point where we're gonna have a black swan event soon. So we'll see how that plays out. We were in the positive. You see the Dow's in the negative, and Bitcoin is dropping. So I'll be back on the mic. We'll see how this plays out. But in the meantime, I'm just going to leave this up, and we'll cover some other charts in just a bit. Hold on. Alright, I'm testing. Is that better, guys? I guess it was spiking in the red. I had my gain up too high on it. Is that better? Test. Mic check. 1, 2. Alright, sorry about that. It was spiking in the red. Alright, hold on. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, that's good right there. Alright guys, I'll be back in a few. Just to recap in case you couldn't hear me. The C1 chart, we broke down from a falling wedge. That could have been bullish. Since we broke down as possible in the C1 chart, we are in a possible head and shoulders. If that does play out, your target would be right here at 56,500-ish. We do have a moving average here. We have a support level here, so that'd be a great point to enter. And as it just said right here, if you want to try a quick long, just a quick long, guys, these charts are for swing trading, all right? But right now we're at support on the H1 chart. Support. And you could wick below it. You might want to see if we wick down, catch support here, push back up, and then you long this point. But 60,853 would be a point to enter long. You should have already entered your long, actually. But remember, if that breaks, it looks like 56,568 is your next support level. All right, guys, I'll be back. I'll be back in just a few. I guess I'm talking too close to the mic, guys. This is annoying. Hold on. I'm just gonna have to be further back from the mic. I apologize. Test. Alright guys, I'm back on the mic. I'm going to try to keep this microphone away from me so it's not too loud. Hold on, I'm going to turn my gain, so... Alright. Alright, I'm going to get kind of loud, make sure it's not peaking. Alright, good. And you guys can hear me, yes? Oh, thank you. It's good to be back. So I'm curious, how many of you guys are still in your short from this target I gave you 2 videos back, actually 3 videos back, from 67K? I'm curious. It was this H1 chart and it was the G1 chart right here. We made contact right at 67K, and that's where it said a short. Anybody still in your short? Thank you. And yes, I know I called some shorts before and price might have dropped 3%, pushed back up, but this one played out really nicely. Okay, well, you know, I don't know if it's, if I turn it up too loud, it's going to peak. Test, test, test. All right, right there. My prediction, well, if we're breaking down from a head and shoulders on the C1 chart, it looks like your next strongest support is going to be right here at 56,568. Again, a head and shoulders, this is your neckline right here, right? This is your neckline. We don't know this is the case. I'm just showing you possibilities. This is your left shoulder right here. This is your head. This is your right shoulder. So if that breaks down, the distance you break is from the neck to the head, and that brings you down to at least this target here. And if it's not, well, I showed you on this chart, if you want to chance a long, it would be from right here at 60,790. And I had this really small. It looks like if we come down and test 60,170, that will be support. Again, we've got multiple lines, different directions. I'm trying to make. I've got four charts on the screen. I can't get 5 up. By the way, so the CME futures. This is a chart that also use. You can see the CME futures is coming down. Your next support for CME futures is down around 56,430. The gap is 57,000. Actually, that is on par. If you zoom out, look at this chart. This is the CME futures chart. Notice how well we're respecting these rings. I know you guys hear rings, you think, what is this voodoo crap? But if you'll notice, and again, guys, I created this chart back on. Do I have a date on this? No, I don't. But notice we topped out right at this ring, right? You can see we are respecting these rings. This was support. We broke below it, came back as support, resistance, support, resistance. So again, what I'm saying is, if we come down, this Confluence, guys, talking about Confluence. So if we come down, well, we have a target right here. We have a moving average right here. We have a support level at 56,568. You can see the CME futures is coming down, and we have a target right here at 56,425. Again, Confluence with multiple charts shows me that's likely a target if we come down to catch a nice bounce. Well, guys, and I see that you said legend. I don't know about that. I mean, I predicted some stuff in the past, and it seems people forget. It seems like most people remember my wrong calls. Everybody forgets about my good calls, but that's okay. But I am telling you that this chart right here, not this chart. Actually, this is also going to be a strong support level, 58,426. We'll see what happens there. But where's it at? I've got it covered up. Hold on. This chart right here, guys. This is the chart that I'm telling you. I thought maybe we would push. This is the Dow Jones chart. I was thinking that we would push up and hit this point and get rejected. We were up like 150 points on the Dow, but we topped out right here. And the same thing that happened with Bitcoin. We put in a new all-time high, right? The last time we peaked at around, what was it, 65K, and then we pushed up to. We'll see. We topped out at. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me go to this chart here. So we peaked at. I'd have to go to a larger chart. Let's go to this one. So we were at 65K, right? This thing is so slow. So we peaked at 64,000, okay, 65,000-ish. And then we put a new all-time high, right? And then I said, look, when we push up, this is the top to come down, around 67,000. We came down from this point. The same thing's playing out with the Dow. Notice our all-time high for the Dow was 35,629. we pushed above our all-time high, people were getting bullish, thinking, okay, we're going to go higher. So the same thing that played out with Bitcoin played out with the Dow. Now the Dow is starting to drop. So I think this is going to continue down. And guys, like I said, if we did push up, this is the top for the Dow. And I think this ring right here, I showed you previously that this is the point. I think the Dow is going to start coming down. And again, Bitcoin moves with the markets. Let me give you, so your current support levels to watch. Let's see if we find any more Confluence here. So your first support level to watch for possible bounce. Let's see if these match. Hold on. So this is right at 59,824, and you can see we're still holding support right now at 60,790. So if that breaks 60,239, well, these are support levels to watch. Let's see what happens. But if this head and shoulders plays out, I think 56,568 seems like a likely point, especially because the CME futures, that is your next target below. I'm just gonna refresh this damn chart. It's so slow. Can you guys still hear me? So let's see if 60,790 holds. Damn Skippy, Pharaohs. I mean, I made a prediction. I think it was a month in advance. I said, you know, we would drop from, you know, we'd push up to 53K, get rejected, come down, you buy the ring. We'd push up to 48K. We'd come down, we bottom around 39,500-ish. I was off by 2 days and $300. That was a month in advance. Everybody's like, oh, you got lucky. Eventually you're going to hit a line. I mean, what can you do? Oh great, we got webcam girls popping in here. Well, hide them from the channel. It didn't hit a line, it hit a red ring. Well, if you're talking about the Dow Jones, yes, that was a red ring. The H1 chart was actually a line. So this is where you should have shorted twice. You should have shorted right here at 67K, and we push back up. You should short it again at 66,500, and that did play along with this chart here. This is where I said in this previous two videos, this is where you put in your short. So had you shorted, guys, you are in profit currently, almost a 10% short. That is one hell of a short. But again, you know, my whole premise of why I think that we're in a bear market, while everybody says we're in a bull market and a bull run, we're going to go higher. I believe the reason that we're going to be dropping is because I believe the markets are topped out to come down. I think the bubble is about to pop. Well, at least here in the U.S. again. So the last time, so let me show you this chart again, and I'll show you. Let me go to the actual published version of this chart, and I can show you the published version of the altcoin charts. You can see how this played out. I haven't looked at those in a while. Let's see, trading view. I have a lot of published charts. Hold on. It's easier to go backwards than forwards. Yeah, so this chart here, I'll show you the altcoin charts in just a minute, but I just want to show you this chart real quick. So this is the Dow Jones chart. right now we're over here at this ring. Let me hit play on this. So this ring right here, this is the one I said, you know, something's going to happen when we cross this ring. And you can see what happened. We came up and got rejected. The rings are different colors. So on the Dow Jones chart, these blue rings right here are these orange rings. And obviously this white ring is the red ring. But when I play it out, look what happens here. This is the next red ring right here. If I go, hold on. If I go back, you can see when we hit this red ring back here. Notice, well, not that ring, hold on. This ring right here, we hit it and we had one hell of a drop. We dropped a total of, and we were at resistance at the orange ring. We dropped a total of 8.5%. We hit the next ring, the next orange ring, we had a drop of about 10%. Now this ring we did get a pump. We're at this next red ring right now, close to resistance right here. That's what I'm saying. I think that we'll be coming down from this point. The last time the Dow dropped, the Nasdaq and the S&P dropped as well. So I do think we're topped out for at least U.S. markets to come down. But if I show you how this played out, you see where we're currently at right now. And watch, we'll come down, find perfect support on this ring. And remember, this was published on January 7, 2020. Look, found support right on this ring. And this is that red ring right here that we're testing now. So had we pushed up, the highest we would go for the Dow was 35,960. That's why I went ahead and put it in my short for the Dow. So I do believe we're topped out to come down, at least for the Dow Jones. And I do believe that this is going to be some black swan event that's going to take place. It's going to send us down further. Bro, can we still go back to 70K? Calm down until we actually get proper. Hey, yeah, I could be wrong. We can start pushing back up. I'm just showing you we could be in the head and shoulders. We could drop down to 56,500. Hey, we could catch support there and push up to 100,000. Do I think that's likely? No. It's possible? Sure. But remember how this plays. So the weekend's coming up. So people, you know, it's kind of going sideways. It went up 150 points. Now we're down 28 points into the negative. You know, people don't know which way this is going to go. So I have a feeling that by the, I don't know. I'd rather it push up right before market close to get people bullish. That means come Monday, it'll probably start dropping. If it starts dropping before market close, maybe it pushes up on Monday. I don't know. I do think we're in the biggest bull trap in history. And I made a tweet about this. Let me show you something. You guys probably won't agree, but I just thought it was interesting. This right here. What do you guys think about that? So we were moving up support, right? Support. You know, we pushed above, we had resistance, we had support, we pushed above it a bit. So I'm just saying, this does not have to play out, but what? And if it did, you know, we found support, we pushed up, people were getting all bullish. I know this didn't put a new high. This is when we tested 14K. We pushed up above, and then we dropped right down to support. So we're holding support here, right? This was our resistance, support. We pushed up. Resistance, support, came down, support. Now we're above it. So I'm saying it's possible where we are right now is equivalent to where we were back here. And if we did drop and we did another black swan event, you know, this would be your target. I know that the moon boys don't want to hear that, but just saying, it's a possibility. I call it the ZZ top because you got a little Z here, a little Z here. And you guys saw that wick down on Binance, right? What did that wick down come to? It came down to what, 8K or something like that? Maybe they were giving a taste of what's to come. Well, okay. I hate when people say I'm always wrong, but you can't say I'm flawless unless you're being sarcastic. I'm not always correct. But I do get some of the major calls the major calls. I get those right sometimes. I like his charts and I have lifetime access, but his talk about Bitcoin 10K is just stupid. It might sound stupid, and I remember when I was talking, when we were at 14K, and I said that we would possibly drop down to 3K, I got the same comments from people saying, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about, we'll never see that price again. They even said we'll never see prices like 12K again or 10K again. Well, you know what? We hit $3,800 or something like that. I don't know why people think it can't crash. People said that, you know, you missed the bus, you're waiting for the bus to come back. I think the bus is going to keep coming back. Yeah, Ice Fox, you've been around for a while then. Everybody expects us to go 100,000. And if that's the case, then everybody just buy in and long and everybody's going to be rich. But how can that happen? That's like everybody winning the lottery. If everybody won the lottery, when you go to cash in, you're going to get, what, 50 cents or $1? Well, thank you, Alex. Can I get a chart request for an altcoin? So listen, I might do a tweet again soon to take chart requests. You know, that'll be, you know, whatever's the most requested will be the one I actually start charting. And yes, guys, if you do want to access these charts, you can through my website. You can access these charts 24/7. Just go to the website, optimarkcrypto.com. If you want to sign up, it's $49 a month to get access to all the Bitcoin charts, all the altcoin charts. You get access to our Discord and Twitter. If you want that link, guys, I can give that to you right now. And then you can look at the charts I'm showing you right now in all previous videos as well. Here's the subscribe link. Remember, stocks are separate and tutorials are separate, guys. You think we get a sucker's altcoin rally before a crash? I don't know. To me, it seemed kind of odd. Yeah, you can't get in Discord unless you have access to the charts. So if you are subscribed and you're not in our Discord, you're not in our Twitter, make sure you email me through the website, and I will verify you have an active account. I'll send you the Discord invite link and accept your follow request on Twitter. But my Twitter's private. You can't follow me on Twitter unless you have access to the charts. Do you do FTM chart? I don't even know what the hell FTM is. Yeah, if everybody that wants me to create a chart. If I create a chart for everybody that wants a chart, I have to create over 1,000 charts. Can't do it. Sorry. But remember, guys, I'm telling you, so let's look and see where we're at right now on this chart. So we just broke this support level, all right? So your next support to watch is right here. You know, now this is resistance. Your next support to watch is right here at 60,160. Let's see if we catch a bounce here. But ultimately, if we break, guys, what I'm saying is if we break 59,628, I think it's likely that we're coming down to 56,568. PayPal instant payment possible? Yeah. As soon as you make payment, you instantly have access to the charts. It's all automated. Steve, how high do you think a bounce is likely to go? Back to 65-ish? I don't think that's going to happen. If you're bullish and you think we're just doing a simple correction before we go higher, I can tell you the most important resistance to watch is right here. Well, actually, no, not this chart. Look, this chart right here. This is when you need to watch. If we push up, the highest that we go is right here, around 65,000. If you're bullish, you know, we could come down and we could test support around. This is an important support level on the G1 chart. This is around 58,000. Make this bigger. So look, 58,000. So if you think we're still in a bull run and we're going to go higher, you know, let's say we come down and we test 58,000. That's a strong support level, and we push up. Well, this is the point to watch to get rejected around 65K. So could we push up to there? Sure. I think that's the top though. If we get above that, I'm wrong. We're going much higher. The dollar, well, I have the dollar over here, the DXY. You can see that we were in a falling wedge. I did say, if you watched the previous video, I said this was the bottom right here for the DXY. And you can see we're holding right here. Watch the previous video. I said this was the bottom. We're pushing up. Now, if we break 93.88, 93.58 right here, if you see the dollar start going down, you probably want to be long on Bitcoin. But right now, the dollar seems to be pushing up. That's typically what happens when you break out of a falling wedge. Resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. We broke above it. We're testing the top trend line as support now and pushing up. But that's why I expect the dollar to push up, because I believe the markets are topped out to come down. But don't forget, this ring has been respected going way back. 56,425, that is right on par with this target, 56,568, and we have a moving average here. That's 3 points of confluence for me. What do you think will be the lowest price for Bitcoin? Yeah, I can show you that right now. Let me put it back on this chart here. Look at that. We're pushing back up. This is a support level to watch too, right here, this yellow line. And how you play it is you buy support or you long and you push up to resistance. And then you would, if we started pushing back up, I would take my profit at 63,137. And again, you know, now your support in this falling wedge is now a resistance. But yeah, so again, and I told you, if we have a major correction, I think the bottom will be the 300 weekly or the 200 weekly. And that is, if you have access to the charts, guys, that is the J1 chart under BTC related. I'll show you that chart now. So right here, I've covered this plenty of times. This is back in 2014. Actually, when we made contact, 2015. This is 200-week moving average. Found support. This was in 2018. We found support on the 200-week, right? And then when we had a COVID crash, we found support on the 300-week to the tick. So that's why I'm saying if it gets bad and we have a major correction, right? Well, then these are the points you want to watch, because we know we typically hold support on the 200 weekly, right? That would be up around 19,294, which would be our previous all-time high back here. And if it breaks below that, wherever the 300-week moving, this is a moving target, by the way, wherever the 300 weekly moving average is, we know we bottomed once on it, so that would be the next point to watch. And this right here is around 13,500. So again, if we have a major correction, load up the J1 chart, because that's where you want to buy in. And if I'm wrong and the Dow Jones gets above 36,000 and continues up, then the markets are going to continue pushing up. You start seeing the dollar correct, then my theory is about crashing is busted and Bitcoin's going to go higher. But until we get above 36,000 on the Dow, and if we do not see the DXY start crashing, I think we're still in a bear market. We're going much lower. I'm sticking to my guns until proven wrong. Why did the US dollar collapse during the 2008 recession? You know, even when COVID happened, the DXY crashed as well. The dollar actually dropped, but the first thing to recover was the dollar. And the reason for that is everybody jumped out of gold, jumped out of Bitcoin, jumped out of the US markets, and they jumped into the dollar, the world reserve currency. What will the price be 1 year from now? I think the E1 chart is the best chart to have. If you're looking way out and you want to know what prices will be, I think that gives you your target to the upside and the downside. But again, I'm waiting. I think that we're about to have a major correction. I told you it would be in October or November. So I think we're topped out. I've already shorted the Dow, guys. I've already shorted the Dow. I'm ready for this thing to come down. So Plan B's prediction is we're going to drop 80%, 90%. Is that what theirs is? Which isn't too far off of my prediction. Who's my goofy friend? I don't have many friends on YouTube that are in crypto. They all think I'm crazy, and they're all moon boys. But hey, you know what? You talk about the moon, you talk about people's investments, 10xing, 100xing, people get all excited. They want to follow the herd, the crowd. Make me rich. I want my Lamborghinis. I'm telling you, you know what? It's possible you're not going to get a Lamborghini. At the best, you might get a Hot Wheels Lamborghini. Okay, maybe they are, but I haven't been following Plan B. Well, thank you, Stefan. But yeah, guys, I think we're entering a bear market. People think I'm nuts. They don't want to believe it. But again, I'm basing it on my Dow Jones chart. I know it sounds crazy. That Ben Cohen, he's using all the sophisticated math, writing out stuff. I don't even know what the symbols are and scratching things out. We held the line. We held the line. Well, you know what? I think I can predict a drop with just a damn ring. And we're going to find out soon enough. Energy charts. Nope. Can you have a quick look at what happened on the 22nd of February this year? It looks like we're repeating the exact same fractal. I just showed you in a tweet what I'm expecting to happen. I think where we are, and people probably saw this as a joke because I was saying ZZ Top, but I'm telling you, I think it's very possible this is going to play out. I know it sounds crazy, but I think this is very possible. Notice right here where we had resistance, right? And I made a video about this too. This was our resistance. This was April 1st. We pushed up, right? We're above our resistance. It became support. We dropped below this resistance. Came back down, tested support. We pushed up. People got all bullish. I was saying that we were going to have a drop. We pushed way above. People said, oh, you're an idiot. Your rings don't work. And next thing you know, we had this black swan event, and down we came. Where do we find support? Right back here where our resistance was. So all I'm saying is, yeah, could I be wrong? But this is just interesting. This is our resistance. We had support. We pushed above it. We came down, support. We're right here right now. So if we did have a major crash, that takes us pretty much down to where the 300 weekly moving average is. I'm not saying it has to play out, but it is interesting. So I think where we are currently, and yes, I know that we put in a new all-time high. That makes people super bullish. I get it. But I think where we were back here in 2019, I think right here, we're right here. I think that's how it's playing out. I think we're getting ready to come down. And of course, that's all dependent on the stock market having a major correction. If it doesn't correct, I'm wrong. Well, thank you. And watch, look, this is your first support level. Watch how these charts play out. This is great that it's playing out live, and you can see this real time. So your support right now, 60,200. You want a chance along? That's a point to chance along. It does not mean it has to hold. Anything's possible. Let's look at the confluence here. So you've got 59,700, 60,159. So possibly you could put in a long right here, a quick long. You might want to wait and see if we come down and test 59,700, but we could get a bounce right here. But ultimately, if this is a head and shoulders, I think your target is going to be 56,568. I have these charts up, the S&P. What's interesting, and I have the published version of this chart I can play out for you. This is the S&P right here. Notice we pushed up, and this is what's great about these charts. So I had this fib channel line. If you watch my tutorials, so price is respecting these fib channel lines back here. You can clearly see that we're respecting these, right? So when I add a fib channel, I base these fib channels right here based on these fib channels we're respecting back here, and the way I add them, they match exactly with these. So that's how I was able to give you this point right here that we got rejected. We pushed above it. See the meat of the candles below this point. So I think we're topped out to come down with the S&P. And what's interesting is right here we got two rings we've been respecting, the blue and the yellow rings. That is in about 5 days. So something major is going to happen in about 5 days for the S&P 500. And if you do not think price respects these rings, let me show you the published chart on this. Let me put this back on the and this was support. This is the NASDAQ right here. So this is our resistance currently for the NASDAQ, and this is our support. But let me show you the published chart for the S&P real quick. I'll show you how these rings played out. All right, S&P. Here we go. All right, watch how this played out, guys. This is the S&P 500. All right, so when I published it, it was on September 17th. So notice back here when I set this up, notice price respecting these white and yellow rings. So notice we found support, we pushed up, we had a pivot, we found perfect support on this ring. Notice we crossed this white ring, pushed up, this blue ring was resistance. Notice how respecting all these rings in the middle. We pushed up this white ring, rejected. This white ring found support, moved right down this white ring, crossed the blue ring, pushed up, rejected at the yellow ring. Now watch how this plays out. So you can see what happened. We moved down the yellow ring, right? Found support down here, pushed up, crossed this one, came down, rode up this white ring, rode up this white ring, dropped, rode up again. We moved up sideways. So what I'm saying is we got two rings right here. Let me play this out a bit. So you see this is the point we got rejected. Again, published September 17th. So something major is going to happen in 5 days. So again, if you're trading the S&P 500, in 5 days from now, pay attention because we're going to get either a sharp move to the upside or we're going to drop to the downside. But you can clearly see how we're respecting these rings. And we got two of them right on top of each other, right at resistance level. But look, I told you, look right here. Look at that. Bounced right off of it and pushed up. But look where your resistance is now. Now your resistance is right here. Do we get above it? Let's see. It's trying like hell. We found perfect support. And look right here. And I teach you this in the tutorials, but notice where we topped out right here. If I move this, you can see that line moves. It's the same fib channel. And they all match up. All the lines match. So we topped out up here, right? And we came down, and look where we found a perfect bounce. It was resistance back here and support, and we got a perfect bounce right here. So the question is, do we hold support now at 60,746 or get rejected and come back down? Well, again, you have to watch my tutorials. Typically when you use fib circles, you go from swing high to swing low. That's how you use fib circles. I found a method to create fib circles based off of fib channels. So there's no guessing to where you put the fib circle. If you watch it, how many of you guys have watched my tutorials? The third tutorial where I create these charts and show how I find fib circles. Any of you guys watched that yet? It is absolutely crazy the method I came up with to find these fib circles, and it friggin' works. There's no guessing. I mean, you have to play around to find certain points, but it works. Price respects it completely. So Philip knows, Kenneth knows, and I teach it in the tutorials. I teach the first one is about, it's pumping from the support level I gave you. If you wanted to chance it long, this is the point you do it. You can't win them all, but the chances are you're going to win most of them. It's paid. You have to get access to it through my website. I'm not giving away that for free. It's a method of charting I came up with myself. You got to pay to learn that. But if you want to, you can go to my website, and here's the direct link to the tutorials. You can see what videos I have available, but this is the link right here. But you can see right now, we did hold, and that's what I said, we probably hold support right here. We pushed up a total of 1.38%, but now your resistance is right here. So once we break 59,652, your next target is right here, 56,538. The Restful Sleep Hub, my subscription, well, Bitcoin and altcoin charts, Discord, and Twitter is only $49. You can cancel anytime. Yeah, if you have access, if you have full lifetime access, you have access to my tutorials. But yeah, it's worth watching. If you don't want to chart for yourself, at least watch it so you understand why the charts work, why they're so accurate. Some might disagree, but you can see we got a perfect bounce right here, 60,000. It's no coincidence we hit this at 60,000, and we're now above it. So you could have entered, your long would have been right here. You would have got in at 60,000, set your stop just above it, and then stay in. And if it comes back down, and it stops you out, so what? You lost nothing, but you're pushing up from this point. Yeah, there's been an 83% crash, an 86% crash. Every time we enter a bull market, we have at least an 80-something% crash. Nice, K. But the thing is, you never know if it's going to hold. You never know how high it's going to push up. So the gamble is, do you take a chance? When it comes down, it stops and starts pushing up. Take a chance on a long. How far this pushes up, we don't know. We could get rejected at any point. That's why I say refer to other charts. Yeah, I made a call before that we were topped out at certain targets, and we did get topped out briefly. I think we dropped like 2 or 3%, and people said, well, we moved above it. We did, but if you put in a short right at that point, and then you set your stop, you could be in profit. At the very least, when you get stopped out, you don't lose anything. But the target I gave up here, when I said short, I mean, damn, that played out pretty damn well. Do you think this bull run was a continuation of the bull run from earlier this year? I think, let me get back to this chart. It's going to get really slow. I can't, this how slow this thing is. It's ridiculous. There's too much on this chart. Yeah, I need to load up another chart. Hold on. Let me refresh this. This is the CME futures chart right here. Hold on. And again, what I'm telling you, the CME futures is dropping, all right? So price is going to follow this. Your target is right here at 56,390. That's why I think it's possible we are probably headed down lower to test 56,538. But I think all of this right here, this was our bull run right here, right? And I think this, instead of being the typical pattern we're in, like on the J1 chart where you're in a one of these patterns right here, I think this is just a fake out to get people bullish, and we are actually entering a bear market. Once we broke above this point, people got super bullish. Everybody went long. We put a new all-time high. People expected, okay, put a new all-time high, we'll come back down, buy the dip. I think the dip's not going to stop. I think the dip's going to keep on dipping. Well, and again, we'll know this pretty soon, because if the stock market doesn't start correcting soon, then I was wrong. But if I'm right about my Dow Jones chart, and we start seeing a major correction with the stock market, then I feel very confident in that target I gave below. Alright, let's go back to this chart here. Hold on. I'm mingling these charts. I'm glad I'm not saving them. So yeah, right here, guys. So if you entered at 60,000, currently you are up almost 2%. And keep in mind, you know, this was the pattern we were in, so your resistance now will be this, you know, right here, this bottom of this falling wedge, which is right here at 61,613. If we push back above this point, then this was to liquidate longs before more upside, because that's what they do, guys. If you're longing or shorting, they're going to send the price up and down to liquidate you. So if you get above 61,600, now we're back up in this falling wedge, which is possible we'll push up higher. But until that happens, I expect us to come down lower. Does that make sense? Yeah, I get it. Everybody is bullish. They think we're going higher. I understand. I get it. We held the line. The market, the cycle isn't over. We're going much higher. Well, I'm telling you, if the stock market has a correction, Bitcoin is not going to continue up. So let's just watch this play out. I'm gonna leave the C1 chart up. Again, let me recap. If this is a head and shoulders, right here is your left shoulder, potentially. This is your neckline right here. This is your head. This is your right shoulder. We broke below our neckline, right? So our neckline would take us to around 57,000, but just because we have this support down here, right close to it in a moving average, it seems likely 56,500, and because the CME futures chart, we have a support level right here at 56,530. I call that confluence. So, and again, if we get above 61,583, this is probably just to liquidate longs before pushing higher. So just want to make that very clear. And your next major resistance above on this chart is right here, 63,041. And let me go back. Let's see where we're going on. What's going on here? And the DXY, it's just moving kind of sideways. But remember, if we push above, if I'm wrong, if the Dow pushes above 35,961, I was wrong. That should be the top for the Dow. It should be downhill from there. For the Nasdaq, yeah, I can go back and add some fib circles to that. That was, I think I was just doing the scaffolding, the fib channels, but I can go back and find some fib circles for the Nasdaq. I did for the S&P. Again, in 5 days, something major is going to happen for the S&P. Pay attention to that. If you have access to my stocks, load it up. It's the most recent chart created on the S&P. All right, let me try to get so you can see this. So your support was right here. And let's see if we get back above this falling wedge we were in. If we do, guys, get bullish and more upside. As long as we're below, I think we're coming down to 56,500. Well, if I'm wrong, guys, if I'm wrong and we're not going to have a correction for the stock market and we push higher, I already told you the E1 chart, your target is around $100,000 to $120,000, depending when you make contact with the ring. The same ring I called the top at 65K, I believe will be the same ring we top out. I can show you that chart really quick. So if you have access to the charts, and let's say I'm wrong and we start mooning, load up the E1 chart. I have it on the weekly and I have it on the daily. So right here, guys, this is the chart I use to predict the top. And I'm telling you that if we push up and we start mooning, this will be the top. So right back here, let me turn off these moving averages and all this crap. All right. So if you remember that video, right, I said, look, our top is probably going to be this ring. We hit it to the tick. 65,000 came down. So what I'm saying is, if I'm wrong and we're in a bull run, just like I said, you know, back here, I said if we push up, the top is going to be 59,566. If we push straight up, that's where you would have got rejected. When we finally made contact with the ring was out here at 65,000. So that was the top to come down. So if we push up, this is at an angle. This is a ring. The further out, the higher price is. So if we push straight up today, the top would be 106,000. If it's out here, your target is 132,000. If it's out here, 186,000. But I know that when we push up, whenever you make contact with this ring, this is when you sell and you get the hell out. All right? If we're in a bull run, you sell when you hit this ring. When we drop, you know, this is a likely point to put in, you know, if you want a long. Doesn't mean this has to hold, but if we came down, I know that we'll bounce off of this orange ring. We might come back down and break it, but I expect to catch a bounce here. I don't think we're headed to 100,000, guys, but I do have charts showing you where your target is. I know that if we push up, just like I knew that this would be a top here, if we push up, wherever you make contact, that's your top. And again, if you have access to the chart, you have this chart open. If you start seeing this push up, you know, when we make contact with this ring, take your profit and get the hell out. See that flash crash to 8K in Binance US. That was the first time, or did that already happen before? I've never seen something like that happen before. People in Discord were mentioning it. I think they kind of hinted where we might be headed. That's just crazy. But again, I'm just showing you, you know, different charts. So if we moon, you know, load up the E1 chart, all right? Because that shows your top. It showed our last top. It'll show our next top. If we drop, the J1 chart is what you want to load up, because I think that's where we're going to bottom. The 200-week or 300-week moving average. Where are we at for the Dow Jones? Well, again, I think the Dow Jones is not going higher than 35,961. From that point, I think it's downhill. We could already be topped out now, but I don't see us pushing above 35,961. That's why I already put in my short, because even if we do push up from this point, I expect this to start coming down. And again, Bitcoin follows the U.S. markets. People don't seem to talk about that when, you know, these guys are doing videos about Bitcoin, like, oh, Bitcoin's going to 100,000. Well, maybe, but if the stock market crashes, it's not. No, I don't stream every day, just occasionally. Alright, so let's watch this play out. Remember what I said. If we push back above 61,583, get bullish for a little more upside, alright? In the meantime, if we stay below this point and we break below 60,000, we're headed down to at least 56,500. That's the next point too long. I gave you a point too long right here. Rewind the stream back, 60,000. Just because we topped out here. Again, this is the same fib channel. Watch it move. Hold on. You can see when I move this line right here. When I move this line, that next line, right, they both move together. It's no different than a fib retracement at an angle. That's how I know, because you topped out here. When you drop, this is support, guys. That's how you play the charts. Your support and resistance levels are already mapped out. It's up to you if you want a chance longing and shorting, but at least you have an idea when to get in and when to get out. Alright, and just to give you one more target, guys, let's see where this target is, right here, 58,800. There is a moving average here. This is on the 2 hour right here, and this is on the 3 hour right here. So let's watch this play out. I'm going to get off the mic for just a few. I'll be back, alright? I'm going to make me some more coffee. All right, so let's address one thing right now, okay? Somebody made a comment. Let's see, where's it at? I got it on my phone here. Okay, so B says, if you place 500 lines and fib numbers on a chart, does that make you a genius? Or just get lucky some of the times? More than just lines go up. So yeah, people say if you put a bunch of lines on the chart, eventually you're going to be right. Well, this line, I don't know, if you zoom out, yeah, there's a lot of lines, but if you look at just the lines that we're respecting right now, I see one line right here at this angle, right? I see one line right here at this angle, right? So that's two lines. We pushed up to this line, this yellow line, and got rejected. We came up again and got rejected. We came down to this next line, this part of the same fib channel. Again, it's a fib retracement at an angle, so it's not just a line, it's an actual fib retracement at an angle again. And where do we find support? Right here. So it's not just randomly hitting a line, it hit an actual line that I called to potentially have a drop, which played right along with this chart right here. I said when we pushed up, I said if we push above this point right here, our next target was this blue line right here. And I said if we push above this, the next target that would be the top was right here. That's not random. If you think that's random, I'm sorry, but to me there was a call I made 2 videos back, 6 days ago and 3 days ago, actually 7 days now. I said when we push up, this would be the top, too short. That played out perfectly. How is that random? Where's the Dow right now? Let's see here. The Dow's up 40, and this is what I'm hoping, guys. I'm hoping the Dow pushes up. I want people to get super bullish, and I think that's what they're doing. I think before market close, markets will close 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? It's 12:46 p.m. right now. So I want the Dow to push up and hit this point, and the markets close, because people are going to be super bullish on the markets pushing up. And at this point, I believe we're going to get rejected, and come Monday, everything's going to start coming down. And again, that's why I believe that Bitcoin is entering a bear market based on the U.S. stock market. Maybe he's a troll. Maybe he's just not that bright, and he doesn't understand. So I'm trying to help him understand that. But he probably is a troll. Haters gonna hate. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's just a ring. Why would something happen at a ring? But with all of the stuff going on right now with Evergrande and supply chain issues, and they're talking about, there's a shortage of coal and crude oil because of these supply shortages. There's so much, and COVID on top of that. There's so much stuff going on. It just further shows me that probably is a ring predicting the next black swan event. I think a lot of people don't think the markets will correct or have a crash until 2022. Typically, that doesn't happen when most people expect it to happen. I'm using a ring that previously predicted the last 2 drops to predict the next one. That's it. No fancy equations, just a damn ring. But yeah, blank space, I agree. I think the black swan event's already in motion, and I think this was the trigger. This was the trigger, and this is the top, and from this point on, we drop. Long term, you think tech will help to pull us out? As you see some crazy earnings in cloud computing, and I don't know enough about that. Do I believe in moon phases? I believe they happen. I look up, one day it's a full moon, one day it's, a crescent moon. I don't think people trade based on the moon. A black swan event is something that you cannot predict. It's unforeseen. But I'm telling you, using fib circles, you actually can predict them. We're gonna find out. Either I'm right or I'm wrong. Sooner or later, within the next couple weeks, we're gonna find out if I'm right or wrong. I don't have my mic thing on, do I? I've been talking for a while. I just turned my little mic thing on. Yeah, everything is connected. The stuff going on in China is going to affect things here. The supply chain shortages, and you know, right now they're talking about inflation. But when you hear inflation, you think, okay, the value of the dollar is dropping. The value of the dollar is actually going up, even though the prices of things are going up. The reason prices are going up is because it costs more to ship things, to make these products and ship them out. So that's why the price is going up. It trickles down to everybody else. Has to pay more money to get it made, to get it shipped, so it costs more money. But the value of the dollar has actually gone up. But again, what I'm telling you right now, and this is how I look at it. If we get back into this falling wedge, right? If we push back above 61,583, all right, then expect more upside. But if we stay below this point, we've got 1 hour 9 minutes for the next candle and a 3 hour. You can see that we did push up from this point, guys. Again, we're respecting this channel. For some reason, it's respecting it. I guess it's the way I created the chart. But we found resistance twice, and then we found support. Yeah, they can keep printing money and pushing it up. But again, I think the Dow will stop at 35,961. Guys, I'm giving you targets. I told you that the top for Bitcoin was right here at 67,000. We topped out. I'm telling you, if we push above that, I was wrong. I'm telling you, the top for the Dow is 35,961. If we push above that, I was wrong. I'm giving you targets. So if we get above that, I was wrong. But as long as we're below that, I believe we're coming down. I'm not moving lines. I'm not changing anything. I'm sticking to what I'm saying. I think we are topped out to come down. And it looks like we're moving back down. Let's go back to this chart. So 60,042 is the support that needs to hold. No, it's not my first top prediction. I predicted the top at 65K. I predicted the last top at 53K. I also predicted a top at 48K. I predicted the bottom at 39K, at 39,500 a month in advance. How far down do you think we will go, and do you ever see another bull run? Well, of course, yeah, I think another bull run will play out. But I think it's more likely we come down and test the 200 weekly or the 300 weekly before that does play out. That's where you want to buy. The last time that when we had our COVID crash, we bottomed the 300 weekly moving average, so I think that's probably where we're going to bottom, the 200 week or the 300 week. That's the point you want to buy. You don't want to miss that. So the 200 weekly is your first target. If that breaks, 300 week. How fast that wick that came down on Binance? How fast did that happen? I mean, was that minutes, seconds, hours? If it was hours, it would have triggered some buy orders. Well, it's a moving target. It depends on when you make contact. The 200 weekly and the 300 weekly is going to continue to move up. It's when you make contact. A matter of minutes. If it's a matter of seconds, it moved too fast to trigger any buy orders. Yeah. So again, if it was in the matter of seconds, no buy order would be triggered. Not unless you had a limit of like 5,000, 10,000, a buy limit. And that's the other thing that I just can't understand how this is sustainable. So let's say that Winwell owns a crap load of Bitcoin. The price is really high. So they sell instantly, right, at the top. It brings the price down, and then they immediately buy back in. They just got free money. How is that sustainable? I mean, if they sell, right, it does bring the price down. And once they buy back in, it brings the price up. But Monday will be interesting to see what happens, because I think, and I'm hoping by 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Dow will be sitting at 35,961 ish. Then I want the market to close, and then I expect Monday is going to be downhill from there. So I'm going to let this run a little longer to see what happens. I'm not going to have the stream run too long. Andrew, how did some people get wrecked? What are you talking about? Shh. So you said some people got wrecked. What are you talking about? Come on. Is there any chance the market is artificially maintained alive? But again, guys, if we get above 61,583, expect more upside. In the meantime, I think we're headed to 56,484. So I guess while we're waiting and watching paint dry, I can show you how some of these altcoin charts played out. The ones I published. Move this over here so you can see Bitcoin. Alright, so let's see how Solana played out. This is, I have two Solana charts, so let's zoom out. Let's see how this played out. This is published on September 15th. Take note this orange ring right here. Take note the pink rings, the blue rings. So look what happened. We moved down this orange ring, bottomed on the blue ring. We came up, we topped out at the pink ring here. We came down, look what happened. We found support on this orange ring, pushed up. Where did we top out? This blue ring that was support right here, support, resistance, became support and resistance again, and support and resistance again. And look at this ring I have, these pink rings. So look, this was resistance, support, resistance, resistance, right? So look what happened. We came down to the next pink ring as support, rode right up it. And then look, we crossed it, we moved up the ring. Once we crossed it, we dropped. We pushed up, we came back down. Where are we at now? We pushed up, this ring was pivot to go sideways. We pushed up, look at this crazy wick down. We topped out here, came back up. This is where we're currently at resistance. And again, I update these charts as price moves along. This is when I published it on September 15th. So that was that chart. This is Solana 2. Let's see how, hold on. This is the other chart. So we moved down this ring, was a pivot. Notice we're bouncing between support. Look, short right here, resistance, long support, short resistance. And then notice what happened. Now we started moving up this channel, right? This was resistance, came back down, and now it's support. We moved right up this channel at this fib channel at an angle. Perfect resistance. And again, this chart has been updated since, but look, we pushed up. This became resistance, right? It was previously support, now it's resistance. Let's see, let's check out, and this is the peak of the bull run chart. This is the one where I said we were going to bounce, we're going to top out at 53K, come down, you buy, when you push up here, you sell, and we would bottom right here around the 23rd. At 39K, how this played out. I mean, look how that played out. This is that line. Remember the line I told you a couple videos back? I said when we push up to that yellow line, that was the top. This is that line right there. Look, right here on this chart. This line. If I zoom out, that is that line right there. I don't know why this thing is so slow. But that is where we topped out. This line right here. See that green line underneath it? That is the line we topped out at. Notice we've topped out right here. I said buy at the ring, sell at the ring, buy at the ring. We pushed up and we topped out right there where I told you in that previous video at 57K. So you can see these charts actually work. Alright, enough. Go. Alright, Ethereum. Let's see how this played out. Support. Moving down this resistance. See what happens at that ring. And it became support. We pushed up. That's where we're currently at now. Tezos. Alright, we got rejected at the ring, we got rejected again, we pushed above it, resistance right here, moved right up this support level, we dropped down to here, we pushed back up, we topped out at this ring. Topped out at this one, came down to support on this ring, found support again, and we're still finding support on this ring right now. Let's see, chain link. And look at that. Rejected at this yellow ring, support on the orange ring, rejected the yellow ring, support on the orange ring, rejected the yellow ring. And respecting, look, you come down, you long. You come down, you long. And look, right here, this is your resistance right here. This is where you would short. Currently you're at support. Came up to resistance, now back underneath the orange ring. This is BCH. Look at that. Rejected at the ring. Where do you find support? The next ring below. Push back up, resistance at the ring. Became support, rejected. I mean, all your support and resistance levels are mapped out. You just got to pick for yourself if you're going to long or short. It's a gamble, but at least you have a roadmap what price is going to do. No black swan event occurs with the rings be able to explain. Yeah, I do think a black swan event is taking place, and it's already been triggered. This red ring is the black swan event right here. Tether, I would not use Tether if I were you. I'd get out of Tether. I think right now you're okay, but I would not stay in Tether. If you have another option like USD, USDC, I'd hop in those. I don't have FTM. I don't know what that is. Well, then go ahead, buy the dip. Hey, if you got out at 57,000 and you buy back now, hey, at least you bought $7,000 cheaper. I think Tether is just a ticking time bomb. I don't think it's really backed by a dollar. They say it's backed by it's paper trades. I don't know what the hell it is. It's not backed by a dollar. I think that this pushed this market up. Every time they print more Tether, it pushes price of Bitcoin up. And I do think they probably are tied into China and some of the stuff that's going on over there. I disagree, but you don't have to say goofball. You can disagree with me, that's fine. If you think we're going to put a new all-time high, that's fine. I don't think we are. I think we're headed down. But basically, I gave your support resistance levels to pay attention to. If you get above 61,583, get bullish for more upside. In the meantime, if we do not, As soon as we break, write these numbers down. If we break 60,042-ish, around this area, your next support is 58,834. If that breaks, I think you'll catch a nice bounce, guys. There's a lot of confluence here at 56,500. I did tell you the bottom. The bottom is the 200 weekly moving average or the 300 weekly. If we have a major correction, major crash, that's where you want to buy. In the meantime, the purpose of these charts are for swing trading. That's it. If I say we're topped out, maybe we go higher, but I said we were topped out at 57K. We topped out there, we dropped $7,000. I'm suspicious of Tether. Don't trust it. Oh my God. So I called the top at 65K. We did crash down to 30K. We pushed back up, but does that make me wrong? Just because we went higher than 65K, I gave you a top at 65K. We dropped down all the way to what, $28,000? So I'm wrong because we're back above that point? Guys, this is swing trading. If you can't understand that, I feel sorry for you. Just like I said, 67,000 would be a potential top. It was. We dropped down to 60,000. That is swing trading. Could we push back above it? Of course we could. That means my theory that we're probably topped out and we're in a bear market is wrong. But hey, I did give you a top for a drop. I don't think so either. I think most people in here that are talking crap are hodlers that are scared to death that they're going to lose everything that they have in Bitcoin. Should I sell? I don't know what's going to happen. I'll go in here and troll this guy that says we're going to drop, but I'll pay attention because it's possible we might drop. I mean, if you're hodling and you don't give a crap and you're going to keep it for the next 5 years, why the hell are you on YouTube watching videos? Just hold on to it and forget about it. If you're in here, apparently you're worried. Well, thank you, Jacob. Well, thank you, 12112 off TV. Again, I just create charts, and this method seems to work. If you want to play, if you want to find a point to get in, I help you find those points to get in and help you find points to get out. They're not always exact, but for the most part, I think when you trade these and you come down and you stop at this line, if we stopped right here, I wouldn't touch it. If we stopped in limbo, right here, I'm not going to do anything. But if you come down and you stop right at a line that is a fib channel line that's connected to a fib channel that we topped out at, yeah, that's a likely point to enter a long. And if that breaks, the next point you long is 58,735. If it's out here, it's 58,972. This is the direction price is moving. But if you do have access to the stocks chart, guys, pay attention. It's called the Dow Jones original chart. Pay attention, or even if you don't, if you want to have a ticker up, I use this ticker for the Dow Jones. I'll paste this in the chat. Pay attention and watch, and see if by market close we're right at 35,961. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm hoping for. I want the market to close right at that point, and then I think Monday it will start coming down. And if we push above 61,583, then this was to liquidate some longs before more upside. If we do not get above 61,583 and we break 60,000, your next point to catch the bounce 58,793 and then 56,484. And if you have access to the charts, well, your next support levels, they're all mapped out down below. And if we push up, all your resistance levels are mapped out above. I take the time to create these charts so you know when to get in, when to get out. And if you do want to sign up, guys, this is the link right here. And if you do sign up, or if you're already signed up, make sure you email me, because I have to send you the Discord invite link and accept your Twitter follow requests. All right, let's see what you're saying. My dude, I've been following you for about a couple months now, and these guys coming all along to bash and hate, knowing nothing about FIP channels and TA. I honestly knew you were right watching. Well, I appreciate that. And again, some of my calls have been wrong. I will admit that. But I have got some of the big calls have been correct. You email me through the website. My email address is on the website. And guys, do me a favor, do your part, all right? If you start, you know what I'm talking about, these comments where people will say WhatsApp with the phone number, and they'll pretend to be me, they'll have my logo. Do your part and report those people. Most people will just ignore it. Just report them so we can get rid of these damn scammers. I go in and try to delete all those comments, and it takes a while, but if you guys report them, it'll kind of help, it'll make it easier on me. And other YouTubers out there, they're dealing with it as well. Oh, well, I appreciate that, AE. Look, I'm not saying I'm not infallible. It is possible I'm wrong, but I'm sticking to what I said. I do believe that we're topped out with the Dow. I'm using the Dow to predict that all the markets are going to be topped out and coming down. I'm saying that we're not getting above, and I'm giving you a target, guys. You know if I'm wrong. If we push above 35,961 on the Dow, I was wrong. If we push above for Bitcoin, if we push above 66,000, depending when you make contact, if we push above 65,842 for Bitcoin, I was wrong. But as long as we're below those points, I believe that we are headed down much lower. Yeah, I think it will. I think if we push above that orange ring, I think it'll negate it. And again, as I've said before, if markets continue to push up, the dollar's going to continue down. Bitcoin's hedged against US dollar, so expect Bitcoin to go much higher. And if it does, load up that damn E1 chart, because your target is right there. The same ring we topped out at 65K, that is the point you would sell and take your profit. And again, if we push straight up, that was around 108,000, and the longer it takes to hit, the higher that price will be. Hey, you're welcome. But I will keep you guys updated on Twitter and in Discord. In the meantime, let me recap one more time. This is going to be strong support right down here around 58,000. That does go along with this target here around 58,793. If we continue down, your first support on this chart, write these numbers down, guys, right here. This is around 60K. So if we break 60K, we're coming down to 58,793. If that breaks, 56,500. If we push above 61,583, expect more upside. And that's it. But I do think ultimately we're coming down. I'm going to be watching the Dow like a hawk. I do hope we close at 35,961 because Monday I think we're going to have a lot of downside. Alright guys, I'm going to kill the stream. This is taking a while, but I will see you on Twitter and in Discord. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out. Peace.